welcome back to Angry Badger Minis. Still working on the guard. Just finished up, well, we have the Bane Blade finished up. We have 3 Hellhounds finished up. Even though I did them as the Devil Dog, which is this middle one here that has the Melta cannon on it. Although I did not put the multi-melt on there, and I have a heavy bolter on there right now, on all 3 of them, and a melt cannon, mainly because I'd like, some better shots, or more ammo downrange. But I didn't really glue it on that much, just so I can hopefully go back and do some magnetization. I didn't even glue the melta cannon on, that way I can make them more versatile. Something I noticed though, it's interesting, the Bane Blade is considerably larger than the old armor cast Bane Blade, but these Hellhounds on these Chimera chassis are smaller than the older Chimera chassis by about combined ½ an inch in length. But I'll be curious to see what happens with the 3 Lehman Russ tanks that are in there as well. That's what we've got left out of that box set, and I'm gonna commit those to that Steel Legion army. We also have an Imperial Knight that I put together a while ago. That's part of that army, and once I'm done with the tanks and this commissar that I'm working on at the moment, once I'm done with all of that, I will showcase all of that on a different video. But yeah, right before I went live, I just cut this guy apart. This is this piece right here is from the Hellhounds themselves, and it the Hellhound tank commander, whatever you want to call him, comes with a guy that's got a semi-commissar looking head, and it's got a mask built into it, which is great, because of the flames or whatever. And then the torso that it goes to already has a hose and everything else on it. Probably can't see it that well here, but if you can make out that hose, and it goes down to a rebreather around the abdomen area. So that being said, that makes for an interesting deal here for me. I have another commissar that I ordered. Well, and he'll probably go with the Cadians, and then I have another commissar, Krieg Deathcore commissar, that I found today, and I bought the one where he's like drawing a sword out or whatever. I'm over here demonstrating, you can't even see. But so yeah, that's what I'm working on here just at the moment, is to get this commissar going. I kind of want everything themed in that army, but the more I got to thinking about it with these Steel Legion, I think that the Steel Legion, the reason they're wearing these masks, it just occurred to me, is not because of toxic weather or anything like that, because again, half of them don't even have their goggles on. I think it's because of the fumes, since they used to be, armored fist squads and everything like that. The amount of chimeras and things like that, maybe, perhaps. I mean, otherwise they'd all have their goggles down and things like that. But anyway, that's just my little train of thought there that I've been thinking about. Try to get this guy lined up the way I want him. That way I've got a nice commissar here. He's got a different mask, but that's okay. It'll be perfectly fine. And I don't have another use for it, so. And if I happen to have another body laying around, I don't think that I do. I think this is the only one. If I happen to have another one, then I'll go ahead and make another commissar like this for the Steel Legion, so that I've got a couple, or even they could double as platoon commanders or something like that, Let's see. I already see a problem here. I left the belt on this guy, so I'm probably going to have to sand that down some more. Does it look like I'm doing my nails? Getting a pedicure, manicure, whatever the hell it's called. I don't know all that stuff. I think a pedicure is like your feet. And manicures your hands. Potentially. Alright, let's see here. Alright, that looks better. Just makes it look like he's got a longer torso because of that belt. I can probably cut it off. It's amazing how just that, what is that, maybe a quarter of an inch, not even a quarter of an inch, how that quarter of an inch makes him so much taller. It's crazy. Ooh, that was close. And I just sent that plastic flying across the house. Somewhere. What I didn't want to do is I didn't want to cut this little rebreather thing here, and I didn't, thank goodness. Yeah, let's try fit that. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Double belts was not gonna work, no matter how bad I wanted that detail. All right, looking good, looking good. This guy almost appears to be like an older commissar, like he's kind of hunched a little bit at the neck. Let's see here. Or maybe he's just looking down his brow or down his nose at people. Like, go ahead, screw up, I'll shoot you. Because we know how they do. Yeah, this is looking good. It's good to go. I just need to get a base for this dude. Here we go. He's not in a very dynamic pose at all, but in my mind he doesn't have to be. He's just standing there. I mean, I wish I had a set of arms where he just had his arms behind his back, like just surveying everything. You know, like, go ahead, screw this up, see what happens. But does not seem to be the case. He looks like he's leaning back right there, so I'm gonna have to try to find a way to prop him a little more forward. I'm sure I could do it with the glue, but what I'm gonna do instead is I'm gonna take this small piece of plastic here and put that on the back part of his foot. Just need to cut some off here. There we go. So I'm just gonna take a little sliver for each foot. Sent that one somewhere. Alright. Let me look at that again. Yeah, I don't like it. And he's the back of his feet picked up here a little bit. Slightly. This still may even be too much. looks about right. Okay. And then there's no way you'll be able to tell, you know, once I base this bad boy. So none of that will matter. Alright, now we need arms. And I am hoping, I'm pretty sure I have a sword laying around here somewhere for him. I'm almost positive it was part of the Bane Blade deal. Let me check the sprue real quick. Did I sit the sprue down somewhere? I may have, because I don't see it. Hold on. Yeah, normally I don't do that. Huh. I could have swore there was a... Oh, there it is. I say normally I don't put sprues aside until I'm actually done clipping them. Yeah, here it is. And we've got some on this one and that one. We've got some shoulder pads. Don't know that I necessarily need the shoulder pads, but you know, it is what it is. And I'm using these clippers, by the way, because my Citadel clippers broke today. Can you believe that? Then again, I have had them forever. And to replace them, I think they're 40 bucks. But I'm not going to do that. $40 USD. I think I'm going to give this dude... We need to look up what a commissar has. Lord Commissar. Bolt pistol and a power sword. Yep, we can do that. Is there a bolt pistol on this one? There is. It kind of looks the same, sort of. But this is the one that I got it from, so okay. Yeah, we'll be working on those tanks tonight. Those Lehman Russes. Oh, another thing that was interesting about these newer models, there's no cylinders inside the track area. You just put the thing together, kind of like I said, and then they have it where you can just lay the track on top, and that's it. It was really really simple to deal with. That doesn't look bad at all. I'm not a big fan of the GW's Commissar models. They just never seem to, I don't know, they just look too stupid to me for whatever reason. Okay, wait a minute. Yeah. This arm looks awfully stinking big, man. Oh, so he's got his bolt pistol up in the air like, do it now or I kill you. why do you want to kill me, Lord Commissar? Don't know. I love listening to the Critical Drinker reviewing movies. He's hilarious. He's even more hilarious when he does his voice, which I believe he's actually drinking at the time he makes the videos, which is hilarious. I don't drink, but you know, it's still hilarious to me. So in other news, I've heard that YouTube is trying to really screw over content creators. That's unfortunate. Basically robbing them of money, if you will. On top of that, it's a big reason that content creators are essentially asking people to go to Patreon and Subscribe and places like that. So again, if you'd like to support the channel, please go to Patreon. Links down below. But that's really unfortunate. I mean that they're doing that. Man, I don't know. I almost my gut tells me that there's something in the works, like they know some stuff's coming down range for them, you know, whether it's a court ruling or something like that, and they're just trying to get as much as they can before they have to either change a platform or make it all go away. I don't know, but they're definitely going after as much, you know, money as they can. I guess they're changing the the partnering program. I haven't actually looked at it. I don't think that we'll ever end up meeting their requirements as far as the part. Oh, and then the other thing is that they want, or what they're doing is they're making it so even if you're not in the partnership program, that they're going to put ads on your stuff. So you could be a small-time YouTuber person, you're not partnered up or anything like that, or you decide you don't want to partner up, and then they just go ahead and put ads on your stuff anyway, and you don't get any money anyway, or nothing from it. That's pretty sad. So I don't know, man. Just it's pretty bad in my opinion. Outstanding. We got us in a way a Steel Legion Commissar here. Of course, now his head wants to fall off. Come on, man. Don't do this to me. You were on there just fine. Oh, God, fingers sticking to the dang base. You were on there just fine. Now you don't want to freaking do it. His head wants to just fall right off of there. A little too much glue going on. Well, the one time that a guardsman's gonna get away with pointing a gun at a commissar, I'm gonna use this guy right here to prop his head up if I can. There we go. So he's got a grenade launcher pointed right in the commissar's head. This guy will not survive having done this, but you know, it is what it is. Alright, outstanding. Got us a Steel Legion Commissar. I do not see any other body parts that are worth it. Now I could potentially, you know, do something later maybe with something. If it's, you know, if I can find a body, or I mean, I've got this guy here. I don't want to give up a sergeant, Steel Legion sergeant that I could turn into something else and ruin his head by cutting it off and stuff. I'm not going to do that. I've already done that. That guy's head went on somebody else. This guy's missing a leg. I don't even know what would have possessed me to remove his leg. Maybe I didn't. Maybe this is an extra part I got from somebody else. I don't know. But anyway, that's where we stand right now. So we're going to move on while that's gluing to the Lehman Russes. And if it's any indication of what I just put together, then that means that these will have less parts as well. And I am curious what weapon options they will give me. I don't know. But I definitely want to include, you know, 3 of the new ones in my Steel Legion army. I feel they deserve it. Ooh, there's a plasma, sponsored plasma cannon here. How about that? I wonder. Ooh, I wonder if they... I don't see a demolisher cannon in here. Nope. I just see 2 plasmas, 2 side sponsored plasmas. Interesting. Do these come with freaking antennas? I don't see any. That's unfortunate. No, I probably definitely don't have enough antennas for that. Alright, so I'm going to set these to the side real quick while we take a look at what's in here as far as weapon options. Lehman Russ Battle Tank, Lehman Russ Vanquisher, which I already have one, Lehman Russ Eradicator, I've seen that in there, and then Lehman Russ Exterminator. Well, we're definitely not making the Exterminator, that's just ridiculous. But I could see me making some more Vanquishers. Wait a minute, that's Eradicator Nova Cannon. What the heck is that? It looks like the Hellhammer thing. Let's find out. I'm looking on Battle Scribe right now. Oh, excuse me. Let's see here. Where the heck are the friggin' tanks? There you go, Lehman Russ Battle Tanks. Alright, Eradicator. So, where is this Nova Cannon that they're talking about? I am not seeing it in here. Hull weapon, pintle mount, sponson. I don't see anything here. For some reason it just says heavy bolter, but that's hold on. I've got my codex here, so we'll check that out. Let's see. Okay. Maybe it's not a thing anymore, because I'm not seeing it in here. Let's see. Oh, here it is. Eradicator Nova Cannon, 36 inches, heavy D6, strength 6, AP -2, damage D3. Units attacked by this weapon do not gain any bonus to their saving throws for being in cover. Yeah, but 36 inches. Nah. Excuse me. Vanquisher Battle Cannon 72, Heavy 1. Strength 8, -3, D6 damage. Versus the Battle Cannon, which is Heavy D6. That's a hard one to swallow. Roll 2 dice when inflicting damage with this weapon and discard the lowest result for the Vanquisher Battle Cannon. Well, let's see. Not that this is gonna guarantee anything here, but sorry, I'm trying to zoom out for you guys. I'm just curious. So that would be a 3, 5, 3 damage, 6. Of course, ballistic skill is a 4+, so roll to hit. 3. Have to need. Oh gosh, horrible, horrible. Finally hit. And then, I mean, obviously, well, I'm sorry. Strength 8, we need a 2 or better to wound, and then 6 there. Well, we've already got one Vanquisher. I don't think it's particularly worth it. And I mean, we could do it, but I think we should just roll with the regular tanks. The question is, what can you put on it? Any model may replace its battle cannon with the Nova Cannon, Auto Cannon, Vanquisher Battle Cannon, Demolisher Cannon, Executioner, Plasma Cannon, or Punisher Gatling Cannon. Oh, is that in here? I don't think it is. No, there's no way. That would be like a. It's probably like a Forge World type thing. I would need a big plasma cannon. Heavy D6. Yeah, we're gonna roll with the regular battle cannons. That's what we need. We need more DACA. Strength 8, AP 2, -2, D3. Not to mention 72-inch range and heavy D6 to roll to hit. Yeah, we can roll with that. That'll make things easier. So yeah, this is exactly the same. This is what I was talking about. So if you take a look at the instructions here, I mean, it looks more black and white than the old other instructions. There are no, you just put these together. There's nothing on the inside, so that's going to be relatively easy to do. All looks pretty simple. Yeah, this is going to be pretty simple to put together comparatively. Looks like these guys, this comes with some people as well. Tank commander or something somewhere. Yeah, here he is. He's got a crazy head that I don't want. So we probably won't have any tank commander sticking out of this one like we do on the Baneblade, which I think is fine, you know. So Vanquisher. Excuse me. Battle cannon. Yeah. Yeah, this is gonna be a lot easier. Alright, cool. Well, it's time to get to cutting sprue. Like I said, we've got 3 of these guys to do. So, let's see. Looks like our commissar's good to go. This guy escaped with his life. Commissar's looking pretty nifty, if I do say so myself. Get him up here in the camera for you guys. I don't know why we're not getting a focus here. Did my thing reset? It may have. Let's see here. Yeah, I think it did. Yeah, there we go. So we got a nice custom kit bash commissar now. Awesome. And there's an army waiting for you, buddy. In the meantime, let's put this glue away. Let's get some of this other stuff we don't need out of the way. Got that. Got that. Time to get to cutting. And we're going to do it just as we normally do it. And we're putting multiples together. Cut the same parts off of each sprue. Get them put together. That way they can have some drying or curing time while we cut other stuff out. But yeah, compared to the older Lehman Russ models put together, which I have plenty down there still to do, I got a lot more tanks, believe me, but not for this army. This is considerably easier to put together. Considerably. You know, I sometimes wonder too if the Steel Legion, I'm trying to think back to how long, you know, when they came out. I mean, they're obviously from Armageddon, you know. And I guess I get Armageddon, I guess I don't think about this, but I get Armageddon and Krieg mixed up in my head from time to time. So that's probably what I'm thinking about. Because I'm like, why in the world would they, you know, be there with the Krieg Death Corps, and then it occurs to me they're not. You know, they're on Armageddon. So, but what's interesting about Armageddon to me with the Steel Legion is that every depiction of Armageddon, nothing looks like there's any room or any, you know, any space, if you will, for even armored fist squads to operate. It just doesn't seem that way, you know. But it is what it is. I'm glad I had a spare set of clippers, or we'd be in trouble. These are Walmart specials, by the way. They work just fine. I would like to get some more precision nippers though. Nippers, clippers, whatever you call them. So yeah, man, if you guys happen to see commercials on my stuff, it's not me, man, it's YouTube. I'm not monetized. I don't even come close to that right now. Yeah, as soon as these 3 tanks are done, the Steel Legion army is complete, and I'll be doing a short video, you know, showcasing them, as well as putting them in their case. And I may have a surprise for you guys. I haven't decided if I want to do this yet, but I'm thinking, based on my cases and everything like that, that I might just go ahead and put together my Krieg Death Corps so that they have their place of honor before I get carried away with any other guard units or chaos or whatever. I'm not entirely sure how many people I have, and the reason that I'm saying that as far as putting them together is I may want to devote, you know, tanks and stuff like that to them. Now that being said, they are going to get a Baneblade, they are getting an Imperial Knight or two. I mean, they'll, you know, be able to have whatever to support them. That's how I plan on painting everything. They might actually get all of these new tanks. It's just going to depend on the look. If the stuff is older and you know, in look or model, if you will, and I don't mean model as in a miniature, then they'll probably end up with the older Lehman Russes, which is fine. And I think I gotta remember, I believe that there's a thing that if their tanks do not have sponsons and things like that, they get some bonuses or something like that. I need to get, you know, caught up on all of that, but I'm not planning on them being, quote, a really heavy tank army, I guess. But I mean, you know, they're gonna have you know, some stuff, because I don't have any troop transports for them that I can use. I would have to buy them, and it's not to say that I won't. They're pretty much a troop heavy army. So, all right. So same thing here. Let's get this stuff going so it can cure. All right, what do we got here? That one looks like it matches up. It does. One thing else I noticed about these models is that the plastic seems thinner than the other model, the older model, for whatever reason. But I was gonna wait to put my Krieg Death Corps together last, because it's my, you know, my golden child, if you will, of armies. But as I'm sitting here thinking about it, I think that's what I'm gonna do next. Is I'm gonna put them together. That of course will. I guess the other reason I wanted to wait was because it's gonna take some effort. You know, you gotta clean everything and, you know, wash it or whatever, and I gotta watch sanding anything down because I gotta wear a mask and everything. I don't want to breathe that resin in. That's okay. We can do that. I'm like totally stoked and motivated. I don't even know what to tell you. And I want to, you know, I want to get my Cadians going too, but I don't really want a gigantic Cadian army. And I'll be honest with you, in some ways I'm like, do I even really want a Cadian army? So I'm trying to, you know, work with myself on that one. I've got, you know, some Cadian models, and of course I got Catachan. But if I do, it's gonna be something small. And then, like I said, I'll probably do a Chaos, you know, Renegade type one as well. But what I think I'm going to do is, now that I'm really thinking about it, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold off on anything to do with the Cadians or Catachan, you know, jungle fighters. Well, actually, I don't have to hold off on them the way that I use them, but I'm gonna hold off on the rest of my guard until the very end, so I can, you know, the main stuff that I'm gonna play, that I know that I'm gonna play, that I want to make sure that I'm, you know, set up for success on that. So actually, we'll trim that up later. Make sure all of these actually seated themselves. Yep. But yeah, with the plastic being a little thinner, sometimes they'll pull themselves out in the middle of gluing. That was a problem, or a thing that I had happen with the Hellhounds. So something to think about, you know, with the newer model. But again, man, I mean, you don't have to mess around with all those little wheels and stuff that you don't even see anyway. That's the thing that always got me. You don't even see them, but you had to cut them out and put them in there. I don't know. I guess maybe they did that in case you wanted to not put some hatches on or open them up or something like that. I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of. I will say that the instructions are better too on these models than what I've seen in the past. Guess I forgot to cut those. Now, of course, a big part of putting this army together, it was already, you know, basically put together since it's all metal, you know. And then I just, you know, some of the tanks and stuff were already put together. Just had them stripped, had to repair them, that kind of stuff, and now they look great. You'd have never known that they were all jacked up. Definitely looking forward to painting them. A lot of track, huh? And if you're wondering, am I worried about mixing things up? No. The way that they've got everything set up now and the way the instructions are, they're just great. They really are. There was one issue with the Hellhound that I saw in the instructions where they had missed putting in a singular track piece, but I figured it out pretty quick. So, and then I always do, the way I do my stuff is I'll do, you know, the top or whatever, that way any mistakes that you may have, if you were to have any, would end up on the bottom where you can't see. But so far I've been pretty lucky that I haven't had that issue even through the repair process of the other models, because most of them, the tracks had to be replaced. I'm hearing more bad word too about the White Dwarf that's coming, about Curse City. My understanding of it is that there's really nothing there for you guys, just lore stuff. Like maybe it should have, whatever's in this White Dwarf should have came out before the game was released or something. Again, I haven't seen it personally, so I don't know. And I don't know anything about Curse City. The only small board games like that have ever interested me in the fantasy realm was Mordheim, and I was actually, my friends and I were actually pretty surprised at how quickly that game went away when it was so popular at the time. I mean, it's the only game next to anything that I've ever done personally that I've ever played that, you know, whatever happened to your character in the game actually, you know, affected them. You know, when you roll on the table and everything regarding what happened to them at the end. I never had a character die outright, so that was always good. But I know others, people that did. Maybe that was part of it. They were so invested in their character that when they died, they just didn't want to play anymore. And I can, you know, I can relate to that. If you take a look at, for those of you that play video games, if you ever played the first Destiny, you know, I was really excited for that game. When I was playing it, I was playing it so much, it was almost like it was my job. I mean, I had everything, all the armor, all the, you know, the weapons. I mean, even to the point, you know, when you were able to get all the you know, the 2 different types of swords, I had a copy of each. Black Spindle, you know, all these various weapons that were really hard to get, and most of them I got myself, like by myself. Didn't have any help, and you know, needless to say, that was challenging. And then got really hyped for Destiny 2, and then you get in the game, and it's like, oh yeah, by the way, everything you just did no longer exists. I'm like, are you serious? And somebody somewhere thought that was a good idea, and it was probably that freaking idiot Luke Smith. I'll never forget that moron. That dude did nothing but lie to the fan base, or, you know, the player base. I mean, just repeatedly lied all the time. And you know, Bungie definitely is not the Bungie of, you know, Halo 2 days for sure. But yeah, I've never was that involved in the gaming community as I was when I played Destiny. And man, when that happened, I was like, forget this, I'm done. And then a friend of my wife's asked me to try out Destiny 2 with him. Well, I mean, you know, to get back on there and play with him, you know, because I barely, you know, I think I played for 5 minutes or something, you know, after I found out I had lost everything. And then I was like, you know what, I just can't even get into this game anymore. And ended up playing with him for a little while, but it was boring. Everything was boring. The scenery was boring. The attacking, you know, excuse me. The attacking and everything was boring. You know, the enemies were boring, and none of it seemed as desperate as it used to, you know, in the story, if you will, as, you know, Destiny 1. And I don't know, man, it took the steam right out of me, man. I mean, let me put it this way, it's like I told my son, my oldest, and his friend, you know, was talking to me about Destiny 2, and I guess he's just now started playing it. And he said that he played Destiny 1 or something like that. And, you know, I remember the raids that I went on, you know, with friends that I met. You know, I mean, I literally met a friend online, you know, that I've been friends with now since Destiny 1, like in real life. And, I mean, actually this October going to his wedding. You know, actually ended up meeting the guy and everything. And got real close or whatever. But it, you know, there's no, again, like I told him, anyway, what I told him was I had so much stuff and the stuff I wanted and the way I wanted my guy to look, and, you know, of course I played a hunter class most of the time. Sometimes very rarely did I play the Titan class, I think that's what it's called, and I'm trying to remember what the Warlock, that's it, yeah. And so usually it was either Warlock or it was Hunter class. And I played Warlock usually only, I mean, not even really with the powers. I kept the same weapons and stuff, but usually because of the armor that I had from the Vault of Glass. I had the entire set. I loved it. It looked outstanding on the Warlock. I don't think there's a better set of armor out there for the Warlock, honestly, in my opinion. But yeah, I could go to the moon and just sit there and play by myself, sniping freaking, you know, Fallen or Hive or whatever, just for hours upon hours, you know, running a you know, a circuit, if you will, not because I needed anything, just because it was fun. You know, sneaking up on things, whatever, helping other players out, and they didn't know I was helping them out. You know, that kind of stuff, you know, made the game fun for me. But man, they tore it right out of me, man, with Destiny 2 and taking all our stuff away. For those of you that ever achieved Black Spindle, I don't know how you did it, but if you did it like I did by yourself, you know, having to wait for your work schedule and everything else to pop up, you know, I mean, to you know, loosen up so you could get there, you know, on the only day that it was actually opened up and whatever. Man, my hat's off to you, because that was one of the hardest fights I think I've ever done in that entire game, even harder than raids, to get that sniper rifle, and I loved it. But it, I don't know, man, it just, it was a very fun game for me until all that happened. I'd say the only other game that I've ever been invested in would have been the Halo series, but I mean, obviously that wasn't RPG-ish or whatever you want to call Destiny, MMO, you know, whatever. And then, like I said, I got, you know, get into Destiny 2, and it's just like all these boring, you know, maps. Story was boring. I mean, I beat the campaign like super easy. I mean, even without all the cool stuff, you know. I mean, that took like no time to do. I'll put it that way. So I gave it a chance, you know, but it was not worth it. And I don't know, maybe they've done some more stuff now, but that's another thing that got me, was having to keep paying for another season. Man, I'm not into that. You know, I don't have time for that nonsense. That's one thing I love about, and my hat is off to every modder out there that there is. And you probably don't get thanked enough. You probably don't even get thanked, I don't know, but I'm here to tell you, from me to you, I appreciate everything you guys do, because man, like, look at Dawn of War. You know, Dawn of War Apocalypse, that team, outstanding. Some of you guys play the Unification mod. I can't really get into it because I guess I don't really like the graphics or whatever, and you know, that's just me. You know, I'm not saying it's bad at all. It just doesn't resonate with me. But man, you guys did a hell of a job from what I've seen of it. You know, adding all the new units and things like that. You know, it's just, I mean, take a look at the Tyranids, for instance, with, you know, the Tyranid mod for Dawn of War. I remember back in the day when all the, you know, the craziness going on where people were like, we need Tyranids in the game, and Relic came out, oh, the game can't handle it, there's no way that, you know, it's not designed that way. And then lo and behold, modder says, hold my beer. And then we had Tyranids, and man, let me tell you, I don't even know how many hours I had into defending against Tyranids, or, you know, just trying to see how long I could hold out, whatever. That was awesome. If you guys have noticed, I have a new razor blade in my hand, and I did yesterday as well. The reason for that is in order for me to cut through something that I needed to cut, I had to change the blade up. It was just that dull. I've had it for so long, and I mean, the blade's right here. It's right here. I just haven't gone back to putting it back in my other thing, which I probably should, so I'm not cutting so deep or anything like that when I'm trimming this stuff up. And this isn't exactly, you know, a very nice handled razor blade. And once it's, you know, I won't be able to replace the blade on this one, obviously. Oh, and I've been keeping track of my subscribers. Thank you guys so much that have subscribed. We were up to 54, and I don't know what happened, but today we went back down to 53. So whoever that was, if you ever watched this far, and you know, I'm not sure what made you step away, but you know, if you happen to see it, by all means leave a comment. Let me know how we can improve. That being said, if it was because of the woke video that I made and you didn't understand where I was coming from, well, that's on you. Again, I don't care what a person wants to do with their life. That's on them. Just leave other people in peace. I don't want to hate anybody. Two more to go. Right on, right on. Sometimes I don't think that these pre-fastened blades are as sharp as the other ones, but I don't really know. I mean, I'm sure they are when it comes to our skin. Right on. Alright, because I don't want to screw this up. Make sure we have the instructions out for ourselves. And let's get started here. Set these off to the side. I'm going to be working on these over here first. Alright. So the first thing I like to do, these are actually numbered. I just noticed that. Nice. I didn't see that on the other stuff. Okay, right on. Right on, right on. Well, that'll help keep things from getting even more screwed up. But we'll have to see if you know, it actually pans out the way that they're saying, and you know, on this stuff. Just pull the big R's out. Good enough for government work. Alright, R1. I just had those over here and I just pushed them back in. Alright, R1, and these go opposite the way that the... Wow, that's weird. Because on the Chimera, or the Hellhounds, the tracks were going this way, but these are going the opposite direction. That's totally weird. Interesting. And then what I'm going to end up doing here is dry fitting this before I glue it down, because I want to make sure that I've got the right spacing. I believe I do, but you never know. But man, do they fit in nice, you know what I'm saying? They really do. And they hold too. That's the other bonus. Hell, I might be able to just put this together and then dab a little glue on the sides. So far, yep, I think we're good. Alright, let's go ahead and get some glue going on this. Just a little bit here. Run that on the edges there. I'm not going to worry about the other side at the moment. So R5 is right there. part that I can't stand about this part. There we go. Nice and tight. Like it. Like I said, I do the top portions first, just in case, you know, you somehow miss something and you screw it up. That way your screw up is on the bottom if you've got to cut the link or whatever. Moment of truth. Boom. There we go. One down. 5 to go. With that, appreciate you guys. We'll see you next time.